Vaibhav this side. And in the world where outside technologies have captivated the mind of the entire human civilization, we have lost touch with the internal technologies that were once possessed by our sages and yogis. Throughout the ages, the world has been blessed with the presence of extraordinary beings, ancient rishis and yogis who attained a state of heightened consciousness and self-awareness and were able to transcend beyond the realm of the ordinary mortals. They performed miraculous feats such as levitation, telekinesis, ability to control the elements, heal the sick, and transform the world with their divine wisdom. It is believed that these yogis had the power to manipulate and alter the fabric of the reality itself. But how did they learn all of that? How did they have access to all of this? And what was the source of their power? As I delve deeper into investigating and finding the source of their wisdom, all my searches pointed in only one direction, Advaita Vedanta. And in particular, one verse that really stood out to me is Yatha Drishti Tatha Shrishti. This means that your world is just a reflection of how you choose to view it. For centuries, the true meaning of this verse was hidden in the plain sight and has remained a mystery. Little did I know that the answer lies in the mirror dimension. In this video, we embark on a journey to put together this ancient knowledge and the quantum model of reality to unlock the power to manipulate and bend reality and access this internal technology once again. I am super excited to share this video with you. Let's jump right to that. Alright, let's start by dissecting this verse word by word. Yatha drishti tatha shrishti. It means that your world is just a reflection of how you choose to view it. Now, where else do we see the reflection? In the mirror, right? When we stand in front of the mirror, we present an image to it, and the mirror simply reflects that image back to us. As I got deeper into understanding reality and searched through many books to comprehend why certain events plays out the way they do, I started to see the resemblance between the reality and the mirror. They both work on the same principle to dictate the nature of the reality. That's why we see certain result in our lives and how they relate to the image that we present to it. So this model of reality is called the mirror model. The mirror model of the reality, it states that the world is like a mirror reflecting your attitude toward it with a delay. So the keywords here are reflection, attitude, and delay. So this world is like a gigantic mirror with two parts, the image and the reflection. The image is your internal world shaped by your attitude. Now what is attitude? If we break down attitude into its fundamental elements, it consists of your thoughts and emotions. When we have a strong opinion, aka thoughts, and we feel strong emotions attached to it, that becomes our attitude. On the other part of the mirror, we have the reflection, the outer world. Everything you see around you, every event that unfolds in front of your eyes is the reflection. And this reflection is shaped by the image, which is your internal world. In essence, your attitude and your internal world are mirrored in the outer world, and there is a delay between the two. When you stand in front of a mirror, you see your reflection, and it can be shaped and molded by changing the subject presented to it. If you raise your hand, your reflection does the same. If you make funny faces, the reflection mimics you. Similarly, your reality reflects the image presented to it. If the image has a negative attitude, like the belief that this world is a hard place to live and your life sucks, so the thought, my life sucks, and the emotions like anger and frustration, when you have the unity of your thoughts and emotions, it makes an imprint on the mirror of reality. The mirror reflects this attitude back to you, creating more problems, challenges, and obstacles to confirm your negative attitude. This mirror does not judge, but simply reflect what it sees, making it completely neutral and unbiased. This is the property of this mirror. It does not judge regardless if your attitude is good or bad. It simply reflects without bias. Your attitude shapes the image which is reflected back at you, creating a feedback loop that reinforces your attitude. So the mirror world has this crucial property that it only cares about the content of your relationship and ignores the nature of it. For example, let's say you are going to give a job interview and you really want to get this job. If your thoughts and emotions are focused on avoiding failure, such as I don't want to fail or I don't want to get rejected, the mirror of reality, because it only cares about the content of your relationship, which is avoiding failure. As a result, the mirror will reflect the image of your fear and you will materialize your fear of failure. On the other hand, if your attitude is that you have prepared for the job well, you know that you deserve it and you are confident that you are going to get it, the mirror will observe the image and the reflection will be formed accordingly. So the key lesson to learn here is that if you want the mirror to reflect in your favor, focus on what is wanted rather than what is not wanted. Unfortunately, in society today, we are often programmed to focus on what we want to avoid rather than what we want to experience. This is evident when you look at the people around you. Many people are angry and frustrated because of what they don't have rather than being grateful for what they do have, ignoring the fact that the life they are living right now is exactly the same as they dreamed of 5 years ago. This attitude is shaping the reflection, and that's why they experience more lack and scarcity in their life. Now, your attitude consists of two parts: your worldview and your self view. Your worldview is how you perceive the world and what attitude you hold towards it. Do you think world is a good place to live or an evil place to live? Do you believe that world is abundant with opportunities or scarce? Or do you believe that world is cruel to you or loving toward you? Your worldview shapes your relationship with the world. On the other hand, the self-view is how you perceive yourself and what opinion you hold of yourself in relation to the world. Do you believe that you are deserving of health, wealth and fulfilling relationship, or do you believe that you don't deserve them? How do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as a confident and abundant person or as a person with lack of self-esteem and scarcity? Your self-view shapes your identity and your self-image. So it's very important to understand the influence of both your worldview and self-view on the reflection that you receive from the mirror world. By having a positive and confident worldview and self-view, you can attract positive and abundant reflection from the mirror world. Now, let's talk about the delay factor. When you raise your hand in front of the mirror, reflection raises its hand immediately. But unlike the mirror reflection, the mirror of reality doesn't respond immediately. When you present a new attitude to the mirror of reality, it takes time to reflect that back at you. This delay happens because of the inert nature of the matter, which takes time to manifest changes in the physical world. So, when you have renewed your attitude and presented a new image, it's very important to give it time to see the changes in your physical reality. Just like a seed takes time to grow into a plant, the changes you make in your attitude takes time to manifest in the physical world. That's why you need to have patience and you need to keep your attitude, your positive attitude up for long enough and have faith that the reflection will eventually match the image that you project. Now look at the cycle that most people follow and how it can be corrected. Typically people begins by observing their reflection. They look at their life and see what's wrong with it. But remember, this reflection is just the manifestation of their past attitude. The present is the delayed reflection of the past. For instance, they might see scarcity of money and use that reflection to form an image. They say to themselves, oh, I am poor. And this becomes their attitude. They use the effect to feed this source. When they keep looking at this distorted reflection and use it to keep strengthening the image, the mirror of reality reflects back at them with some delay. The mirror of reality says, oh, you think you are poor? You are right. Here more bills, more losses. So the reflection has started to manifest and it gives tangible proof to support the image. Now these proofs are used to feed back at the image even more strongly and the image gets even more sharper. And so does the reflection. And this cycle continues throughout their life. Pessimist, for example, always seems to have problem in their life. This is because of the cycle and the feedback loop. The more they hate their life, the more life gives them reasons to hate it. When they have a corrupted attitude toward the life, life keeps them stuck by reinforcing that attitude with proof. This is why people continue to live the same day over and over again. Because they never correct their attitude, nothing changes in their life. Now let's see how we can change the cycle. To change the cycle, we have to turn away from the reflection and start by defining your attitude or image first. So let's say our new attitude is that life is great and my world takes care of me. This is the new attitude. Now make this image clearer and sharper. So how do we know that my world takes care of me? Look around you and see all the evidence that backs this attitude. A healthy body, a loving family, food on the table, and no terminal illness. This is the proof my world takes care of me. We present this new image to the mirror of reality, which reflect it back with some delay. So we need to have patience because of this delay factor. Now, as the reflections start to form, we consciously look for the evidence to further strengthen our attitude, to further make our image even more sharper. So, for example, a pay raise or your favorite home cooked meal from your spouse is the evidence that our world do take care of us. Rather than looking at the glass half empty, look at the glass half full. Look at what is working. It's not difficult to find the evidence to support this attitude if you objectively look around you. Your world has planted these beautiful flowers and the trees for you. You do not have to pay for the oxygen and the sunlight. We don't pay any attention to these things. We take them for granted, but imagine what life would be like if they were not there. Your world feeds you and you have the luxury to watch this video on the cell phone, but we turn our back on our world thoroughly convinced that world is not what it used to be. The mirror won't smile until you smile. So the key is to start with a clear and sharp image, consciously observe the reflection and feed it back to the image, and this cycle eventually spirals and eventually this attitude, this image becomes your conviction. And when you have this strong positive attitude, your heart and your minds are united. And when that happens, we activate one of the most powerful force in the world, the outer intention. This unity allows the world to pour its love on us and make our life a living vacation. Now, what I want you to do is to click on this video where I have explained how you can activate the outer intention and bring it on your side. The outer intention is the powerful force in the nature that has the power to create your life beyond your wildest imagination. So click on this link and I will see you guys there. Much love and peace.